Okay, so good evening, all, and welcome back to the session. This is GenAI Masterclass. Friends, in previous session, we were going through with a very basic problem, and we are trying to understand the transformer pipeline. Okay, so over here, what we have done, this is not with respect to that. Okay, so this is the case in this particular code, like this is simple code, 2 to 3 lines of the code I have written over here. And it is I was importing, I was using transformers, and I'm importing pipeline. And this particular pipeline is having multiple, you can say, models and large language models, and these particular large language models are designed to perform a specific task. Let me mention it over here. So this is generative AI session 5, and let me create the notepad. Okay, so what I'm saying, LLMs. Okay, LLMs are designed to perform a specific task. Specific task. Uh, you can take it in this particular way. Like LLMs are the engineers basically. I this like engineers, who are engineers basically, who have the knowledge about multiple domains. Okay, so engineers can do anything, what I can say. So in the same fashion, LLMs are able to perform multiple things, but there is a specific thing for which this LLM is designed. You can take it into this particular way. Okay, uh, we are having these particular large language models, and these are going to perform a special task, a specific task or default task. But apart from that default task, they are able to perform other tasks as well. So if I'm talking about the default task or specific task, what is being happening once I'm going to pick a particular model, then based upon the category, that particular model is picked on. So let me simplify it. So over here, what I'm doing, I'm I'm mentioning, I just want to do the sentiment analysis. Okay, I want to perform the sentiment analysis, and I just want to get the ratings of the movies, get the insights or sentiment from a given sentence. And I haven't mentioned the large language model. I haven't mentioned the model over here. But once I'm mentioning the sentiment analysis, there are certain default models in order to perform this particular task. And over here, Distilbert based uncased fine-tuned SST2 English. This model is fetched by the pipeline. Now, I haven't mentioned the model name over here. I have just mentioned the task. I just want to perform the sentiment analysis. There are other types of analysis as well, what we are going to cover. Okay, basic types of analysis that we can do, that we need to learn from basics perspective. Okay, so I have mentioned, say, sentiment analysis. This is one type of, you can say, task that I can perform with the help of large language model. Uh, I can have summarization. Okay, let me mention over here. summarization, then question and answer, then fill mask. Okay, that is nothing but if like this is something like say uh, fill in the blank kind of stuff, and say feature extraction. Okay, so I'm just going to mention these particular tasks and will provide you the information like what exactly is being happening over here with the help of these particular tasks. Sentiment analysis, with the name itself, we are able to get that uh, if I'm having a particular sentence, the large language model is providing me the the sentiment on top of that particular sentence. Okay, say I'm sad, I'm good. I have watched a movie and the movie was interesting. Okay, so these are nothing but sentences, and the LLM is able to do the inference by utilizing its knowledge and providing me the outcome as a feeling or sentiment. You can take it in this particular way. I'm having, say, sentences. Sentence is given to, say, LLM. This is nothing but, say, sentiment analysis task. Analysis. And once I'm doing the inference based upon this, I'm able to get the sentiment. Okay, and that's what we have seen over here in this particular example. I have just mentioned, say, I watch a movie and I don't like it at all. Okay, and the outcome was negative. The sentiment was negative from this, and it was providing, say, 84% score. So, but I haven't mentioned the large language model, which model I'm going to use, I need to use in order to perform this particular task. So I have just mentioned this particular task, and the pipeline is smart enough that for this particular task, I'm having this particular large language model to perform this task. Distilbert. Okay, let me mention. This is the default model. This is the default model for sentiment analysis. Default model for sentiment analysis. I haven't mentioned the model, but the pipeline picked this particular model in order to perform this particular task. But do we have another model to perform the sentiment analysis? Let me try to show you. Okay, so over here, I'm having, say, huggingface.co, and if I'm looking for the models and say mentioning, say, sentiment analysis, and so it is providing me a lot of models. So over here, sentiment analysis model for comics, and then Illiman sentiment analysis, then sentiment analysis HF1. Okay, sentiment analysis. Okay, so I'm having a lot of models in order to perform this particular task, and probably we will be having Distilbert fine tuned. This is for financial multilingual sentiment analysis. Say if you are willing to perform the sentiment analysis based upon the multiple languages, sentiment analysis. So we are having a lot of models, but pipeline has picked this particular Distilbert based uncased fine-tuned SST2 English. This model was picked by the pipeline to perform the sentiment analysis. This is the default model. I haven't supplied the model in order to perform this particular task. Can I supply a particular model? Yes, I can supply a model over here in this particular code, and at that moment the model what we are going to mention, that particular model will be picked in order to perform that particular task. Okay, so this is sentiment analysis, and probably you are able to get, say, I'm just passing a sentence, and it is picking the default model, that is Distilbert based uncased model, and it is going to infer onto our data or the sentence and providing me the sentiment of that particular sentence. So this is sentiment analysis. Now we are having, say, models for summarization as well. So Distilbert, if we are talking about Distilbert based uncased model, what it can do? Let me try to mention, say, what are the different things. This is the default action for distill bird. It is going to perform the sentiment analysis, but what else it can do? I have given the example of engineer, say, the electronics engineer, so probably he is capable to do the electronics related stuff by default, but uh, he or she can handle the software part as well. He or she can handle uh, the another domain task as well, electrical domain as well, mechanical domain as well. So in the same fashion, a large language model can perform multiple tasks, but there is a specific task or default task for what it is designed, and that is the prime task for that particular large language model. Over here, Distilbert, the default task is sentiment analysis, and let me try to check this over here inside the huggingface.co. Okay, so this is the model Distilbert based on case fine-tuned SST2, and this particular model we have utilized, and we will be able to see all the details, say, developed by Hugging Face model type. This is the text classification model. It is going to classify the text, like is it positive or negative. So that is the task what this particular model is able to perform, and so this is providing the usage information and how the training was done, the what is the parameters in order to train. I just want to show you like what are the different things it can do. Okay, valuation accuracy, model documentation. Okay, so a config pre-trained model, check superclass. I just want to provide you the information, expand 5 parameters. Mm-hmm. I'm not able to see the usage and all. Let me try to come over here. So over here, what is like based upon the let me try to get the insight based upon the risk limitation and biases. So based upon the few experimentation, we observed that the model could produce biased predictions that target on underrepresented populations. For instance, this film was filmed in country. This binary classification model will rapidly different probabilities for the positive. Okay, so over here, what we are able to see, this particular distill bird based uncased fine tune, this is specially utilized for the classification purpose. Classification, text classification is the main, you can say, task what we are going to do, and the classification can be done in positive, negative. If you want to change into good, bad, or if you want to have another, you can say, classes, you can fine tune it, but majorly it is used for the tax classification. Okay, you can say if there are certain A's related data and you want to do the classification, so you can write down the classification this particular way, like 0 to 18, say, uh, 0 to say 10 kid, 10 to say uh, 18 to say 40, like adult, then is okay. So in that particular way, male, female, that is nothing but a classification based upon state information. Okay, state, capital, and all. So that particular classification you can do. This is a classification model. Basically, it is utilized in order to classify the given content into multiple classes, so it can be used in order to perform the classification related task. Model details. So over here, this model is fine tuned checkpoint of distilled based on case. So it is the fine tuned version of this particular model, and deployed by this, and model type text classification model, and this is the default, you can say, model. Once we are going to perform the sentiment analysis, so this particular model is picked by pipeline by default. So for text classification task, this model is picked by default. Although, like for distillbird, for distillbird, we are having a lot of, you can say, variations. Say if I'm looking for say distillbird based on case. Okay, so we are having a lot of, you can say, models. So distillbird based on case fine tune, distillbird based on case emotions, name splitter. Okay, fine tuned emotions. Okay, a lot of things are there, but the main model, the base model is distillbird based on case, and on top of this, like say certain variations or fine tuning has been done, and we are able to get the fine tuned model. Okay, and which is going to perform the text classification and all, and that's what we are able to see over here. So we have given a particular sentence and it is able to classify it into the positive or negative. It is able to capture the sentence basically. Yes, and for sentiment analysis, what I have mentioned, this is the default model inside the pipeline. That is perfectly fine. Let me try to say give you more examples. And what I will do, I will go to say over here and GenAI batch 3, and let me create a new notebook, and I can rename it, and I will say 2.ipynb GenAI hash 2. This is the, you can say, second, you can say, program that we are going to write down. And what I will do, I will just fetch the pipeline from the transformer library, and it will fetch the library. Now, what I will do, I will try to do the summarization now. Okay, so I will give some content, and I will ask to provide the summary based upon the given data to the large language model. Let me try to say chat GPT, and I will ask, say, can you write a write an essay on generative AI, yeah, into 1000 words. Okay, so I got an essay uh, into 1000 words, and let me try to copy this particular essay. And what I will do, I will paste this particular essay over here, and I will say mention this is a text data. Okay, and let me copy this and paste it over here. This is an essay basically. Okay, so this is nothing but the doc string. Whatever is there in doc string, it is going to like take it into the single piece. Okay, and it will be given to the large language model in order to prepare the answer. Okay, so this is an essay based upon say GenAI. And what I just want to get the summary from this particular generative AI essay. I don't want to go through with say 1000 words. I just want to get a crisp summary. And if I mention over here, can you share the summary in say 100 words? So it will provide me the summary. Okay, so previously it has given me 1000 words, the essay into the 1000 words. But at this moment what I'm looking for, say provide me the summary into the 100 words. Works, it is mentioned incorrectly. So in the same fashion, like how exactly these particular things are happening. Okay, so I just want to uh, do it by myself. I'm having this particular text, and what I want to do, I just want to utilize the summarizer. Oh, what happened? What has happened? Let me run it. Okay, so I just want to get the summary from this particular essay, and what I want to do, I want to utilize the summarization large language model. So the same line I'm going to utilize over here, say classifier. And at this moment, instead of say sentiment analysis, I just want to have say summarization. Summarization, and I can mention it in a little bit different way. Say task equal to say summarization. I just want to perform. If you are not mentioning the task, then that is fine. The system is smart enough to understand that this is the placeholder for task. Okay, so this is summarization, and what I want. Min length, I can specify that I just want to have minimum length for the summary is what, say minimum length I can have say 50, and max length, I can specify the max length equal to say 100. So between this particular limit, it will provide me the summary. Yeah. Let me try to do the execution of it. So it is saying what? It is saying, say, no model was specified, no model was applied, default to say SSH, Lafayette, Distilbert, CNN 12, 2, and this particular model, Distilbert, CNN model is being utilized over here in order to perform this particular summarization now. Now, now this particular model is being utilized in order to perform the summary. Previously, once I was looking for the sentiment analysis, so this large language model was utilized. So this large language model is specially built for sentiment analysis. Over here, although like it can do different tasks as well, but the default task for this particular large language model is sentiment analysis. Same thing you can see over here. If I'm looking okay, so let me see over here, chat gpt. Okay, and if I'm looking over here, chat gpt great for everyday tracks. So over here chat gpt model is being utilized. Which version is being utilized, it is not mentioned over here, but we are getting the response from this particular model. Now I'm going to ask different, you can say, questions based upon this particular from this particular model, and it is able to provide but like some models are going to provide the good result onto the code generation. Some models are providing good results onto the healthcare data. Some models are going to provide the good results onto the telecom data. It is based upon what data has been supplied in order to do the training of those particular large language models. But it is not like they are not able to perform other tasks. They are able to perform the other task as well, but the accuracy will not be up to the mark. So that's what I'm trying to say over here. So what we are having this particular large language model, which is being utilized in order to perform the summarization. I'm having say classifier, and task is summarization. Mean length is 50, max length is 100, and the model used is what? This Distilbert CNN 12-6. This model is being large language model is being utilized. Now what I will do, I will pass this particular text data from this particular classifier. This is the classifier, and I will pass this particular data and say summary equal to this, and I will print summary. What is being happening over here? Token indices sequences length is longer than the specified maximum length. Uh, okay, so let me remove max length and min length, please. Let me try to have the execution. Okay. It is not able to consume these much tokens. Let me minimize the content. This is the limitation of the large language model, as we are using the free models. So free models are having issues that we are able to see. So execution is being happening. Let's see what will happen using pipeline without specified model name revision. That is good. And let me print summary. Okay, so it has given the summary. So this was the complete, you can say, content, and we can check. Let me try to copy this, and I will paste it over here. Can you tell me the total words in this? 462 words. Okay, and what summary has been given? So can you tell me the total words in this? Okay, 61. So you can think like initially I have given 462 words, and I have used the summarization large language model. I can specify the the min length and max length at this moment. Uh, so one more thing that I want to explain over here. Let me first like say main length. We have removed this, and max length, and say 100, and say 30, or say 50. Okay, it will take these particular parameters as well and provide me the outcome based upon this.
Hello, sir.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hello, sir. What query? The spelling of need to use this one.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
I'm not able to hear
Uh,
properly.
I'm saying, sir,
Length.
the spelling of length is right. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to use this one. Okay, okay.
I got you. Okay, so let me have the execution, and it will provide me the information. Now, say once we have passed 1000 words to this particular large language model, and the large language model was not able to provide me the outcome. We can calculate it in this particular way as well. Say what are the total words? Say length of this text data, and let me print it. So it will give me total, you can say, letters in this particular uh, given, you can say, paragraph. Now if I'm going to check print length of summary. Okay, so it will provide me the length of summary. Okay, so it is taking as a list. So inside the list, summary of say So get value. Huh? What is the function that we need to use, guys? Get value. Mm-hmm. Dot content is not working at this moment.
So get value is also like correct, sir.
Mm-hmm. Get value is not working. Huh? Will not work. Huh? So so this is a list, and this is summary. Huh? Summary of 0. What? Summary of 0. This is perfectly fine. And in this, what I can do, I can take this particular part. Hmm. Looking good. Hmm. Okay, so just have a look over here. What I have done over, I just like first captured the length of this particular summary, not summary, but the paragraph. So the length it was 2748. It means 2748 letters or characters are being utilized. Huh? Okay. Now, what I have done, and it is having say around 438 words, what we have seen with the help of ChatGPT, 462 words. So this is the length. Now we have used the summarization large language model in order to get the summary, and you can read this particular summary. If you are going to read, it will be more or less similar. It will provide the crux of this particular paragraph. What is mentioned over here. Now, previously, try to focus over here, guys. Previously, once we were mentioning the 1000 words. Let me mention over here. Uh, so summarization. What we are doing, summarization. summarization. And for summarization, we are using which model? This is the large language model what we are going to utilize. Distilbert. This is the large language model which is being utilized. So let me remove this one. Okay. Try to focus. This LLM is being utilized to perform summarization on given paragraph. Okay. So this is the LLM basically which is being utilized. Now, once we have passed 1000 words, once we have passed 1000 words, then LLM was not able to provide the output. Why? So why it was not able to provide? Because the context length for this LLM was less. Okay. So the context length was less, and we are providing more content, and it was not able to consume the complete content, and we were looking to get the summary onto that particular 1000 words. So what we have done then, we have removed the certain part from the given paragraph, and it was converted to around 465 or 461 words. And then we have given it to the LLM. It was able to fit inside the context window, and it was able to generate the summary. Okay, so context length or context window is a very, you can say, critical parameter in order to get the outcome, which is utilized in order to get the outcome from the large language model. So LLM is able to provide the outcome because it is able to understand the context, and context is understood based upon the context window or context length. So if something is not able to fit inside the context window, the LLM will not be able to provide the outcome with respect to that. I'm taking a pause over here. If you guys are having any doubt, you can ask.
So we can also use like a GPT-3 model where context length is 2048.
Uh, we can use, but at this moment, like we are going through with the basics, we will be we will move we will start from the basics. Okay, at this moment we are trying to understand that chat gpt is performing certain thing. Okay, but what mechanism is being utilized, so it is able to generate the summary. Can I generate the summary? Yes, I can. So this, I need to pass the model in this particular way. And somewhere the coding has been done in such a way that whatever I'm providing over here, the chat GPT is consuming my input in that particular way, and it is able to provide me the outcome. At this moment, we are trying to understand the functionalities of the chatbots and all. Okay, we will be moving further with the paid versions as well, what you guys are doing. Okay, so that will come after certain sessions when it will be really required, but we will be moving with the basics, the large language model what we are having at this moment. And we'll try to learn, get the basic understanding from these particular tasks, and will proceed with the paid versions and all. That will come later. Correct?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So as per my understanding, we can use these type of like models, real time usage, real time use of these type of like call center data summarization. Lot of calls will be there. So if someone want to check like what will be the sentiments this
Mm-hmm.
call, maybe that type of functionality uh, that can be work on call center related analysis, related analysis.
Yep, yep. That is perfectly fine. You can utilize, you can go through with these particular large language models, and these are designed to perform the specific task. Okay, if I'm looking for summarization, okay, so medical summarization is there, which is working onto the medical summary generation. Okay, IT5 summarization MLSM. Then we are having BART large dialogue summarization. Okay, so we are having different model T5 based summarization, claim extract. Okay, different models are there, and it might be possible that the model what you are using over here, Distilbert, it is able to work onto say medical domain, but it might be possible it is not working perfectly for your domain data. Say you are working in telecom domain, correct, or say you are working into the healthcare domain. So probably this particular model is not able to provide the correct output. So what do you need to have? You need to search for the model which is trained or fine tuned based upon your data. Okay, let me try to check, say, telecom summary. Yeah? Telecom.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay, so we are having telecom churn model. Okay, when telecom chatbot model is there. Okay, telecom OSS 8 billion parameters. Telecom GPT is there. Right. So you can explore these particular models, and probably these models will provide best results on top of your data based upon the domain search. Correct? If I'm looking for say
Correct,
health.
sir.
Okay, so over here, health Llama 3 is there. Health GPT is there. Mental health BERT fine-tuned model is there. Health GPT Pro 8 billion parameters. Health GPT Pro 4 billion parameters. We are having different models with respect to the different domains. Say insurance. Okay, so we are having industry BERT insurance VO.1, Mistral 7 billion insurance, Open Insurance LLM Llama 3 8 billion GGUF. So we are having different large language models available over here, and based upon our domain data, we need to opt a particular large language model, and it will provide the outcome. Okay, say if over here inside the insurance sector you are using the telecom large language model, so it will not provide the correct result. Correct. So you need to choose the large language model smartly. Making sense?
Correct, sir. Model depends on like domain specific.
Okay, so this is another task what I want to show, the summarization. Now, another model what I can have, say question and answer. I will start from here only. Okay, question and answers. So for question and answer, I will do simple stuff. Okay, instead of the classifier, say I can have question and answer, and pipeline and task. Instead of summarization, I can mention say question and answer. Question answering. Question answering. And let me remove these particular things. Okay. And let me have the execution of it. So question is there, no model was applied. And at this moment, distilled bird based uncased distilled squared model has been picked up. So what I want to show you at this moment, like by executing these particular lines, I just want to show you, like for question answering, this is the default model. For summarization, this is the default model. Okay, previously we have seen the sentiment analysis. So at that moment, we were having the different model. Okay, so different models are being picked. We will see like how to specify our own model as well. But try to go through with this particular aspect first, like how the system is picking up particular large language model. So for question and answer, this particular model is picked, and say I can give a context. So say I can ask over here, provide me a context and some question and answer that I can ask from that context. Okay, so I just take this as a context and I will paste it over here. So what I want, I will pass this particular data to the large language model. Okay, and I will say this is the context, this is the data, and I will ask a particular question, and you need to utilize this particular data in order to provide me the answer. So it has given the generative AI intelligence, commonly known as generative AI. It is a modern technology that allows machines to create original content such as text, image, music. And there are certain questions as well it has given. Let me try to have these particular questions. So I'm having the context and say QUES1, and this is the question one. What is generative AI? Yeah. Okay, this is question one. Now what I will do, I will ask, say answer. I will be having the answer. I will pass this particular question and context to this particular uh, large language model. So question, let me try to change. Say question. Let me mention, say QA pipeline. Question answer pipeline. That will be a good name. QA pipeline. So what I will do, I will use this particular QA pipeline and I will provide say question equal to question over here, and then context, and let me change the CON for say data. Data is nothing but context data, say context data, and this is the context data, and say this is the context what I need to give, and it will provide me the result based upon the given context. And let me print the result as well. Print the answer or result. That is the same stuff. Okay. So answer is generative artificial intelligence. What is GenAI? So, and it has given the score this, and start is say 0 and is 34, and answer. So generative artificial intelligence. So what is generative AI? generative artificial intelligence. It is utilizing this particular, you can say, context in order to provide me the answer. Okay, so whatever, it is not utilizing its own intelligence at this moment. Model, the large language model, is providing me the outcome based upon the context or based upon the data what I have supplied to this particular model. Okay, so this is nothing but the simple, you can say, example. Say if I'm having a large language model which is designed to provide question and answering related stuff, so it is going to consume the data context basically, and it is going to take the question and will provide the answer. Okay, so score is 49% over here. Okay, so we are not looking like why the score is 49% at this moment, and how we can improve it. We are not looking on to that particular part, but what we are looking at this particular moment, like how these particular models are able to understand our queries and provide us the outcome in that particular way. Okay, so we have seen three main tasks. First one is say summarize. First one is the sentiment analysis. Second one is the summarization we have seen, and third one is the question and answer. So what I want from all of you, try to do the practicals. I will share these particular files with you all. Try to go through with the practical and try to understand like what exactly is being happening in these particular practical. These are really very simple examples. We are just importing the transformer pipeline, and a pipeline from the transformer library which is carrying certain default models, and we are just utilizing those particular default models in order to perform a specific task. Say sentiment analysis is done by a default model, summarization is done by a default model inside the pipeline, question and answer is done by a default model inside the pipeline. Now, although we can utilize different models as well, we can supply different models, and in tomorrow's session we will see how to supply a different model in order to perform the summarization or sentiment analysis. Okay, so that's it for this particular session. I think I hope you enjoyed the session, huh? If you guys are having anything in your mind, you can ask. Vipin, Anurag, Lakshmi, Nikhil, Vikas, all good?
All good.
Okay. So see you tomorrow then. Thank you. Let me stop recording.